So I came to New York from Memphis in 1975, and one of the first jobs I landed was at arguably the chicest boîte in town. It was called Clio. I was there for a couple of weeks, but then came Mabel. Everybody was running around talking, Mabel's coming, Mabel's coming. I was green behind the ears, green behind green all over. I had no idea who this Mabel was. So I played from 6 to 9, and the featured performer came on at 9:30, and then another show at 11:30. I was leaving at 9 o'clock and walked out the door and practically bumped into Frank Sinatra. And then I saw Tony Bennett. And then my eyes popped out because there was Shirley MacLaine and her brother Warren Beatty. And just so many others, Rosemary Clooney, were piling into this place. I said, I have to stay here and see who this Mabel is. So I sat, she came out, sat on her throne, as customarily she did, and I was totally enchanted from the moment she started to sing. A sort of sing speech at that time. I heard some early records of hers where she had a wonderful, wonderful soprano voice. Big, luscious, almost operatic in its sound. All of that was gone now, but she was an even greater singer. I stayed many, many nights. I was very busy during those days, and I couldn't afford the time that I spent there. But it was such an education that I felt obliged to take advantage of it. Before I knew it, Mabel and I had become fast friends, and she invited Steve Ross and me up to her country, up to the farm. So Steve Ross and I headed out in my old Cadillac up to the wilds of East Chatham, New York. That's up near Albany. We arrived at this extremely rustic road. I don't know how we managed to get there, and a dirt road that was difficult to traverse. But we finally got there to this little, charming little house, and there was Mabel to greet us. We had a lovely time. She took us out to dinner, lunch, and then to dinner at 2 different restaurants in her area. When we got back, Mabel wanted to hear us perform. She had a rickety old piano. So she asked me what I was working on. I said, well, you know, I play a little more classical music these days than any other kind. She said, oh, play something. She seemed so hep on the idea. So I was working on the 81A, an extremely esoteric sonata of Beethoven. Well, and so I started to play, and almost instantly, Mabel seemed to nod off. So 81A is a long sonata. So I breezed through it and left out all the repeats. At the end, her head popped up, and she said, oh, my dear, that was very charming, but you skipped all the repeats. She knew the 81A of Beethoven. She knew that I was skipping the repeats. I was dumbfounded. Steve played something for her, and then we had prepared something for her from the Broadway musical Ain't Misbehavin'. There's a song called Find Out What They Like and How They Like It and Let Them Have It Just That Way. Now, it's traditionally a duet for 2 women. So we did find out what they like and how they like it, then let them have it just that way. Give them what they want and when they want it without a single word to say. So Mabel, with her charming, genteel manner, just through the entire thing. She thought it was perfectly scandalous, but we had a good time. So that was our story with Mabel in the country at Blakely up in East Chatham.